good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you are watching this video, let me welcome you all to our channel Future Endeavors. Okay, so without wasting much time, I will be directly moving on to the discussions that we are making. In the previous class, we have discussed up to I think question number 1F. Okay, so let us start discussing from that. Okay, now in the previous class, we have mainly discussed about the reflection of light. That was our main discussion topic. And after that, we have slowly moved on to the next question where we have discussed a little bit of the mechanical energy or the work energy power chapter related question. Okay, so let us now move on to the next topic, next question. Let us see what are the next questions. Okay, so the next question says like this. Okay, so previous class we have discussed up to part B. Okay, so it was question number 2 part B. So we will be starting from question number 2 part C. Okay. I hope you are enjoying our channel, and please do like our videos and share as much as possible, because without your support it is not possible for us to move forward. So thank you for supporting. Now let us come to the next question. The next question is I think the question number 2C. Okay, so 2C is a problem. What is the problem given? Okay, so we are discussing question number 2 subpart C. Okay, so what is question number 2C? See, here two bodies A and B, given two bodies A and B can climb the third floor of the same building in 3 minutes and 5 minutes respectively. Then the question has been asked, then what is the ratio of their powers A and B, that we have to find out. Okay, so now let us come to the question. So it has been said that both A and B are moving from climbing to the third floor. Okay, so climbing to the third floor, both of them are climbing to the third floor. Okay, so when they are climbing to the third floor, they are both having the same amount of displacement, isn't it? Exactly. So they are having the same amount of displacement. So displacement for both A and B. So if we consider the displacement for A is h, then for B also it will be h, isn't it? The displacement for both A and B, we consider it to be h. Now the force that is working here, that is the force of gravity, they are pulling persons A and B towards the center of the earth. So if A and B has to move up, has to climb up to the third floor, then they have to exert an equal force opposite to the force of gravity, that is mg, in order to move up. So in both these cases, work done by A and B, in both these cases work done by A and B, so work done by A will be equals to m mass of A, okay, into it has been said g into the displacement h. Okay, now likewise the work done by B will be equals to mass of B into g into h, isn't it? So these are the work done. Now as you know, what is the formula for the actual formula for the work done? I hope everybody has remembered the actual formula for the work done. Actual formula for work done is, what is the actual formula for work done? Work done is equals to, work done is equals to force applied into displacement in direction of force. This is the formula, in direction of force. Mathematically this has been expressed in your book as work done equals to F, if F is the force, S is the displacement, Fs cos theta, where theta is the angle between the force and displacement. This is the formula, because displacement may not be always along the direction of force. In that case we have to use this formula. We have to take the cos component of the displacement, that is the component of the displacement, that is which is along the direction of force, or in other words you can say, we can also take it as the component of the force that is in direction of displacement. Okay, so both the formulas are correct. So basically you can consider here work done equals to force applied into displacement in the direction of force. Now see, and what is the formula for power? What is the formula for power? So this is the work done. Okay, and what is the formula for power? Power is equals to work done by time, isn't it? Work done by time. So these are the two formulas that we require here. Okay, so so how can we define power? You can also define power as the rate of doing work, isn't it? Power can be also defined as the rate of doing work. You must have read this in your book. Okay, just giving a brief recapitulation. So from here you can see that the work done by A is MAGH, work done by B is MBGH. While M is the mass of person A, MB is the mass of person B. Okay, so from here, so what will be the power developed by A and B? Okay, so what will be the power developed by A and B? I am just rubbing it off. If you have not noted it down, please stop the video, pause the video and note it down. So what will be the power developed by A and B? The question has been asked, what is the ratio of the powers of A is to B in an ideal situation. So power developed by A will be work done by A by the time taken. Now see, the time taken by A to climb the third floor is 3 minutes. So if I consider 3 minutes, I must convert it into seconds. So 3 into, okay, it will be just 3 minutes. Okay, so by 3, whereas power developed by B will be equals to work done by B by time has been set as 5 minutes. Okay, now then what is the ratio of the power? Therefore if I take the ratio of power PA is to PB, now see what happens, it's coming out to WA by 3 into 5 by WB, isn't it? So just simplifying it, MA into G into H by 3 into 5 by MBGH. So from this you can see, if you just terminate this G and H, so what it is remaining? The remaining is coming out to be like this. The remaining is coming out to be like this. So it is coming out to be 5 MA by 3 MB. So do you know the value of the masses of A and B? I think in the question the masses of A and B has not been given. So what will be the answer? The answer for this question will be option number C. The information is insufficient to form a conclusion, because in order to know the power, ratio of the power, you must have the ratio of the masses, not given. So it turns out that the answer is option number 3, that the information is insufficient to form a conclusion. Okay, so this is the answer for question number 2C. Fine. I think everybody has understood the problem. If anybody has some query regarding these problems that I am discussing, they can comment in the comment section. We will be definitely trying to answer each comments. Okay, so with that, let us move on to the next question. Question number 2D. Okay, so this is also a numerical problem given. What is the question number 2D? Let us come to the next problem, 2D. Okay, if you have not noted the problem, or if you need to see it once again, just pause the video or just move it back a little bit and watch the solution. I think the theory will be very much clear to you. So now let us come to the next question, question number 2D. 2 subpart D. So what has been the question given here? It is said that the center of gravity of a meter scale of mass 80 gram lies at 40 centimeter. Okay, so there has been a meter scale given. Okay, meter scale has been given like this. A meter scale has been given. Now this says, the question here says that is a meter scale. Okay, so question here says that the center of gravity of the meter scale lies at a 45 centimeter mark. What does this point means? Center of gravity, CG, denoted in short by CG. What does it mean, center of gravity? So we can say that for any body, the total mass of the body can be considered to be concentrated at this point. At this point means at the center of gravity of the body. Okay, so center of gravity is such a point in the body. Generally, for a symmetrical body, it lies at the midpoint. For any body, center of gravity, please listen carefully. For any body, center of gravity is the point through which we can consider the total mass of the body to be acting. Okay, so center of gravity, it has been said that the center of gravity of the uniform meter rule or meter scale lies at 45 centimeter mark. Okay, so and then it has been asked, then which of the following diagrams will show the balanced position of the scale, isn't it? Okay, so let us consider, so according to figure, just we are drawing the figure. See, in each figure it has been given that the fulcrum is at 60 centimeter mark. The fulcrum is at 60 centimeter mark. Okay, the fulcrum is at 60 centimeter mark. So if we consider the fulcrum, the fulcrum, say here it is the 50 centimeter mark. So just here it will be the fulcrum. Okay, the fulcrum is at 60 centimeter mark. Fine. Okay, this is the fulcrum. Okay, so this is the 60 centimeter mark. So this is the 50 centimeter mark. Just let me point it out with a different colored pen. Okay, so this is the 50 centimeter mark, and the fulcrum is actually, this is the 60 centimeter mark. Okay, and in each case a weight has been given or has been hung around at the end, means this is the 0 centimeter mark of this scale, 0 centimeter, and this is the 100 centimeter. So this much information has been given, which is same for all the four figures. Okay, now so what I have to do, the center of gravity of the scale. So definitely for each figure, if say this is the 45 centimeter mark, 45 centimeter mark, then the weight of the scale will be acting vertically downward at this point, isn't it? The weight of the scale will be acting vertically downwards to this point. So this is the point where the 80 gram, that is the mass of the scale, is acting downward, isn't it? Okay, fine. So what force will it exert? If I consider the mass of the scale to be 80 gram, then definitely I can consider the force exerted by the scale in the downward direction. On the scale in the downward direction is 80 GF. Okay, so I can write it as 80 GF. Fine. So this figure will be same for all the four options. Okay. Now which one of the options is actually correct? So now for this question you have to consider the principle of moments. So I think you have remembered what is the principle of moments. So just briefly let me recapitulate principle of moments. What is principle of moments? Principle of moments says that when a body is in equilibrium condition, the sum of clockwise moments will be equal to sum of anti-clockwise moments. Okay, so this is the actual formula for the principle of moments. Okay, so principle of moments says that the sum of clockwise moments is equal to sum of the anti-clockwise moments. Okay, fine. Okay, so using this principle we can actually verify which of the figure is correct. So if I consider in all the figures, I am directly coming on to the question option number 3, because there is a correct answer. I will show why it is the correct answer. Just let me see. You can apply the same formula to other figures, and you will see that the technique that I am applying or the theory that I am applying will not be valid for the other three figures. So just try erasing it off. Okay, so what is given in option 3, figure number 3? It has been shown that a mass of 30 GF, mass of 30 GF has been, mass of 30 GF, 30 GF has been put at the 100 centimeter mark. So Now from this figure, can you say what is the clockwise or the anti-clockwise moment? Let us just calculate the anti-clockwise moment. I am writing as AC, anti-clockwise moment. See, the anti-clockwise moment will be generated by which of the following weight? Anti-clockwise moment will be generated by which of the following weight? Is it 80J or is it 30J? Definitely it is 30J because see, 80J, because see 80J is actually trying to rotate this meter rule in this direction, which is the anti-clockwise direction, whereas the 30J is trying to rotate the meter rule in this direction about this fulcrum. So remember, the rotation is about this fulcrum. Okay, so this produces clockwise moment, this produces anti-clockwise moment. Okay, fine. So with this knowledge I can apply. So what is the formula for moment? Force. Remember what is the formula for moments? Okay, I am just writing it for you to, so that it is easier for you to recapitulate. Formula for moments is moments of force equals to force applied into perpendicular. This sign stands for the perpendicular. Perpendicular distance of the point of application of force from the point of rotation. So this is the formula for the moments of force. Okay, fine. So just if you, in case you have forgotten the formula, and for that reason I am just briefly recapitulating all these formulas as much as possible, so that it will be good revision for you. Okay, fine. So see, now considering this, what will be the anti-clockwise moment? Anti-clockwise moment will be 80 GF into, what is the distance between? I will be considering this distance, isn't it? So 45 minus 60. So it is actually 60 minus 45. That turns out to be 80 into, what is the value? 80 into 15. Okay, so 80 into 15. Now 8 5 is 40, considering 4, so this value turns out to be 120, another 0, 120 GF centimeter. So this is the anti-clockwise moment. Okay, so I think it is clear. Now what is the clockwise moment? So coming to the calculation of clockwise moment. So anti-clockwise, CW means clockwise moment. Okay, CW means clockwise moment, and ACW will be meaning anti-clockwise moment. Fine, ACW. Now clockwise moment will be equals to, this will be producing the clockwise moment. So mass is 30 into, what is the distance? 60 minus 100. So actually 100 minus 60. So again it turns out to be 30 into 40. That gives 1200 GF centimeter. So this is the clockwise moment. So see, for the figure number 3, actually the scale, meter scale is in balanced condition, isn't it? It has been asked which of the following diagram shows the balanced position of the scale. So definitely for this figure 3, it turns out to be the balanced position, as the anti-clockwise moment and the clockwise moment are equal. Okay, so why we have considered this figure? Because these two moments, anti-clockwise and clockwise moments, are equal. Okay, so this is the balanced condition. If you want to check for the other figures, so you will find out that the anti-clockwise moment and the clockwise moment will not come out to be equal. So all those figures will be rejected. The answer is question number 2D. It's option number 3. Okay, so it again turns out to be option number 3. Question number 2D, option number 3. Okay, fine. Now quickly moving on to the next problem. So it's question number 2E. So what is question number 2E? A body has a kinetic energy of 250 joule. So let us quickly move on to the next question. a body has a kinetic energy of 250 joule. Okay. If you have not noted down the problem or theories related to it, please do pause the video and note the theories, or you can also view the solution as many times as you like. Okay, so question number 2E. What does it say? Body has a kinetic energy of 250 joule. Okay, so let us consider, just write down what are the things given here. Kinetic energy is 250 joule given. Then mass of the body is given as 5 kg. It is asked, then choose its velocity and momentum from the following options. Then what will be its velocity and momentum from the figure? You have to there are 6 options, so you have to figure it out from the 6 options, which will be the correct answers. Okay, so see, first of all, you know that formula for kinetic energy. You know the formula for kinetic energy is Ke equals to half mv square. So putting the values in this formula, we will be getting the value of the velocity. So kinetic energy is 250 joule equals to half into mass is 5 into v square. This turns out to be v square equals to 250 into 2 by 5. So it turns out to be 250 into 500 by 500. Therefore, velocity v is equals to root under 100. That is equals to 10 meter second inverse or meter per second. Okay, so the velocity turns out to be 10 meter per second, which is given in option number 5. And what will be the momentum? You know that. What is the formula for momentum? Formula for momentum is momentum divided by p is equals to mass into velocity. So the mass has already been given as mass is given as 5 kg, velocity is 10, so it turns out to be 50 kg meter second inverse. So this is the formula for momentum, and the calculation is like this. So what will be the correct option? So see, in question number E, the 2 options that are correct will be, one is the momentum, the velocity is 10 meter per second. So option 5, velocity is 10 meter per second and momentum is 50 kg meter per second, means option 2. So these are the correct options, 5 and 2. Okay, I think it is clear, 5 and 2. Okay, fine. Next, okay, so in this video we will be ending it here as time is not permitting. We will be continuing with the question in the next video. Please be with us and watch our videos. It will definitely help you in your examination. So till the next video, thank you, goodbye, tada.